The bench boss of the Broadway Blue Shirts has this habit of going places and winning. So that's good news if you're a New York Rangers fan. Peter Laviolette is a coach with a very strong resume. Connie, when you think about the expectation level in New York, it's high, and the fan base isn't always the most patient. What do you see?
He'll be in a pressure cooker, but I think he likes that. Peter Laviolette used to play for the New York Rangers, believe it.
True.
Played 12 games for the New York Rangers, so a little bit of a homecoming for him. But I love the way he coaches his teams. Pretty aggressive on the forecheck. And, you know, as a former defenseman, Laviolette was, he realizes that you can create a lot of turnovers in the offensive zone by putting pressure on. Now, that being said, through the neutral ice area, they can clog it up with the best of them. So I think structurally they might be a little better than they were last year, and maybe that's going to help this team. But he's also bringing in a couple of guys, too. Phil Housley, who's going to help an awful lot. Michael Pekka is going to be on that crew. Dan Muse, who is the U.S. National Training Development Team, is also on his squad. So the young guys, I think, will really benefit from having that whole coaching staff there.
Yeah, he's Peter Laviolette is demanding, which I think the Rangers need, but he's also empowering, which I also think they need. And you know, I always think back. Remember what he said about Claude Giroux?
Yes, best player in the world.
Best player in the world when it was in that series against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and Claude Giroux was unbelievable at that time. But to kind of understand that, you know, when guys needed to get kind of propped up or give a little extra pat on the rear end, but also know when to prod them. I think he's got that blend, and that's why he's been so successful in his career. It seems like everywhere he's gone, he's taken his team far, gone to finals, and all that. And this team they need to get over the hump here. They need to find, there's times, and I covered a lot of their games last year, when they're on, there's not many teams like them. Like, they just snap the puck around. It's beautiful. But when they're off, or when there's not some feeling or emotion, it's really quiet at MSG. So I think this is his job here to make sure, and the leaders on that team, let's bring that energy all the time. It might take something out of the ordinary to kind of get things going. But I think Peter's a perfect guy for the job. You
know, you had a great point. And youthful enthusiasm sometimes can carry a team. And I didn't see Lafreniere do that last year. At times he did. Capo Caco, another example. I think those guys will be empowered by Laviolette, especially at Caco, because, you know, he likes the strong forecheck. I think Caco doesn't get enough credit for the work he does below the goal line.
So good.
He's a disruptor down there, and that's what Laviolette's going to want. So will he get more minutes? I hope so. Will Lafreniere get a few more minutes? I think he will. But those are the kind of guys who can generate that excitement, bring the enthusiasm, and if they feel like they're a part of it, they'll bring it on a more consistent basis.
Time will tell if these Rangers this year can be the beasts of the East.